see this boy got him a lot of videos. Yeah, I mean, they were coming up on 304 billion videos. But the first like 40 or 50 are just me playing and showing off for the camera, just running out. There's no commentary. And then when I start getting into the advanced 9-ball series, where it starts saying advanced, that's when they get good. Those are the instructional videos. And there's a few that are off-table videos, dealing with topics that you can practice off the table. And then there's some drills and other stuff like that there. But the advanced pool series for 9-ball players, that's when it starts getting good. Anyhow, we're going to stick with the key shot issue at the end of the video. So watch the whole thing, and at the end, you'll see which shot in this rack was the key shot. And feel free to comment about that and give me some back feed. Tell me what you think, man. That's why I do this. I'm not quite done this video here, but it's all ready to go, and I just published one yesterday. It's not doing very well. What's up with you guys? Don't forget to click like, click subscribe, and click the bell. And you know what, I hate to say that in my videos, but it's not a pestering, it's just a reminder, because people do forget. They'll watch a video and they'll get so into it that they'll forget to subscribe to the channel no matter how much they like it. And then they'll go back the next day and it's like, oh, what was that guy's name? What was the title of the video? Shit, I forgot to subscribe. I want to see all his videos. And that's what happens, so just consider me reminding you, not pestering you. And some of you are subscribers, and I really do appreciate that. We're going to keep cranking them out, man. And let's get on with this one here. Alright, that camera's a little bit straighter than it has been for the past couple of videos, so that's good. Cue ball's right here, center table, a little bit close to that rail. One ball's right here. So 1 to the 2, the 2 to the 3, the 3 to the 4, the 4 to the 5 could be the key shot here. 5 to the 6, the 6 to the 7, the 7 to the 8, and the 8 to the 9. Yeah, the 4 to the 5 can be a little bit touchy depending on how well we get on the 3, which will allow us to get good shape on the 4 to get back on this 5. So let's proceed carefully. Taking a look at the pattern. I seem to be fixated on this 7 ball. 7 to the 8 could be another issue depending on where we get. Of course, on the cue ball, this is why it's all about shape. Still fixated on that 7. Don't seem to be worried about the 5 at this point. Now, here's an issue. We can play this, I think, at this point it's all about the 4 to the 5. So, if we can get straight in on the 3, we can just stop it, and that'll give us a good angle to bounce up and come up on this angle for the 5 ball. If I don't get straight in, I'm going to have to, I mean, there's numerous ways you can play it. If we get on this side of it, we can just bounce off that rail and come up one rail on the 5. Let's see what happens here. So I'm just drawing back and taking a straight in shot on the 3, but it looks like I did not get straight in. So I'm putting top on this, so going down on the same side, there's a couple ways you can play this. I can spin it 2 rails and back up here, or I believe I elect to just shoot this straight into one rail with a whole lot of left and coming back. You gotta watch the scratch there, and I believe I went long to shoot this 5 into the corner. These rails are really, really touchy, and in some spots they're dead. The glue has dried up in some spots of the rails. So yeah, I went long there, but you see what I was trying to do. Yeah, it's better to go long on that shot than come up short and scratch, that's for sure. And from here, it looks like an easy no-brainer out. Just poke this 5 down into the corner on a stop shot or a drawback, and bounce out for the 7. This, instead of electing to wuss that shot in, I should have put a little bit of left-hand English to come down and get closer on this 7. I mean, it would have allowed me more options to get back on this 8, because here comes the dreaded miscue. Yeah, I miscued on that ball. Now we can go back and turn up the volume so you can hear this. God, that's an ugly sound, isn't it? Let's turn that volume back down. Yeah, miscue, but I made the ball. And that's how you know you were in line and you were going to make it either way. I believe I tried to draw back a little bit to get center table on this 8. In fact, I know it is. That's exactly what I was doing. And now I'm checking my tip because nothing could be wrong with my stroke. Yeah, it's time for a new tip. I'm all the way down to the ferrule here. I have like 1/64th of an inch before I'm scraping the ferrule. And that's just a finesse shot on that 8. Got a whole lot of bottom on it, but not really trying to draw the ball. And by the time it got to the 8 ball, it was going forward. So yeah, and that's what happened. That's what it is, and that's another rack. But we're going to go back on the key shot after we play the whole video. Stay with us. Stay tuned. The key shot here is the 3 to the 4. And we can get really analytical about this and go back to the 2 ball. But all you guys know my game, and the best thing for me to do is get straight in behind this 4 on this side to just for an easy draw back on this 5 ball, which will leave us straight in on the 6. The second best option for me is to get straight in on the 3 and just hit a stop shot, and you're in a position where you can just put a little bit of top right on it and force it to the same spot as that draw shot would force it. So now again, we can go back to the 2-ball and see exactly why we weren't able to do either of those things. And let's roll it up a little bit and see what I was forced to do on this 3-ball. And because I'm not straight in, I have to go to the bottom rail and bounce up. And this leaves me in a position to either spin it off these 2 rails and come here, which really risks the scratch, or to put a whole lot of left-hand English on it and to basically do the same thing, although I went long on it. And the problem with putting all this left-hand English on it to force it back to this position is it's going to deflect the cue ball. So you have to shoot this 4-ball a little bit fuller than you normally would. You're actually aiming into the tip in the pocket and not the pocket at all. And that's because the cue ball is deflecting right. So if you aimed it the way you normally would, you're gonna wind up overcutting it, and you're gonna send the cue or the 4-ball into this rail. So all that complicates everything instead of just, let's go back to the 2-ball now. Now when I shot this, I could have completely uncomplicated all that crap and just put a whole lot of right-hand English on this to bounce off this rail and to force it back here for a straight-in shot on the 3, or I could get a little bit short of that and bounce off this rail and come back for a straight-in shot on the 4. Both of those options would have been good. So it's safe to say that the key shot was actually not the 3, it was this 2-ball. Either one you choose, the 2-ball or the 3-ball, would be right. But you get the point. And so we can just name all 3 of those things the key shot, the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Anyway, thank you guys for your time. I really do appreciate it. I'm not just saying that. Tell all your friends there's a lot to learn here. And I'll see you on the next video.